Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So I just wanted to talk a bit about this Nicola Bulley case. I'm not going to give my opinion or anything like that. I don't have any. But what interested me is how the media, why I'm bringing the example is to show how the media play and how it makes, or should make us a little bit mistrustful, or at least question what we see on the media, because they like to play devil's advocate a lot. A few days ago, the police gave a press conference because there's been a lot of attack on them for, just thinking that she just fell in rather than looking at a third party. So they wanted, I guess, to defend themselves by mentioning she's vulnerable, but they didn't want to disclose exactly what these vulnerabilities were. And all the journalists that asked the questions all probed them on, can't you give us this so that we can, get rid of this or dispel this, or, they wanted this information, so that they could talk about it, because that's what journalists want to do. And now that the police did a few hours later give this information out, that there may have been a menopause issue and a drinking issue, and that the police had visited previously, now the media are all like, the story is now, oh my goodness, the police have given this lady's personal details that she wouldn't have wanted to have been disclosed if, she was around to do it. And now they're attacking the police for disclosing the information that they themselves wanted. There's no journalist out there who didn't want that information, and now that the police have given it, it's like, oh, you're very naughty for doing that. It's like the police, in a way, they can't win or lose with the media, because they can turn on you or support you, a drop of the hat. So that's the thing that I think we always have to be very careful with when we watch things on the news. Facts. And also like this attack on social media, I assume it's something to do with TikTok. The armchair detectives, so they're calling them, and use the word conspiracy. And but it's fine for all the journalists to speculate and postulate and all that kind of stuff, but not for people on social media to do it. It's one rule for one rule for another. So it did make me laugh, because the coverage on Sky News I've been watching, they've all been asking these questions. They've all been saying, well, why didn't they tape off the bench? Well, yeah, obviously. Is there any marks or blood on the floor where she fell? They're trying to sort of, how far does the river go to the Irish Sea, and etc. How long does it take? How, whirlpools and all this stuff. They're postulating. They have their own people that they talk about this all the time. So it's okay for the media to do it, but it's not okay for anyone else to do it as if for some reason they're different, that all the human beings, and, the journalists aren't anymore, trying to get to the truth. They're just filling out airtime. So I just wanted to play this clip to show that.
And the owner of British Gas, Centrica, sees its annual profits more than treble to a record £3.3 billion. Good morning. MPs and campaign groups have criticised Lancashire Police for disclosing that missing Nicola Bulley had suffered some significant issues with alcohol in the past. At a news conference yesterday, senior officers said Miss Bulley was vulnerable and considered high risk. Later, they revealed those issues with alcohol, saying they were brought on by what they described as her ongoing struggles with the menopause. Now, Miss Bulley vanished almost 3 weeks ago while walking her dog in St Michael's on Wire. Let's speak now to Sky's Lisa Dowd, who is in St Michael's on Wire for us this morning. And Lisa, extremely rare that the police would ever give out this sort of very private information about anyone.
If police were hoping to dampen down all of the speculation surrounding Nicola's disappearance, they certainly failed to do that. yesterday. It was when they mentioned in that news conference that Nicola had specific vulnerabilities which had made her a high-risk missing person that everybody became extremely interested. They wouldn't go into detail at the news conference, but hours later they did go into detail, saying that Nicola had suffered problems with alcohol, which had been brought on by the menopause and had resurfaced in more recent times and caused real challenges for her family. And 17 days before she disappeared, a response car with police officers and healthcare professionals had gone to her home responding to a concern for welfare. Now, police say that there were no arrests, but they are still investigating that incident. Now, we spoke to former detective Martin Underhill, who said this level of information is unprecedented.
I don't think I've ever seen such a level of detail released before. There were various ways they could have said that yesterday without completely destroying Nicola's reputation. And you have to ask, why are they doing that now? If they'd released that on day one, it would have completely changed the dynamic and the coverage of this story. You could understand why some people are saying it's victim blaming to protect their own reputation. I can't see how it progresses the case any further forward to 3 weeks in, to be frank.
Now, MPs and campaigners have also criticised this level of information being released, saying it's deeply troubling, questioning how it can possibly help the investigation. Also saying, you know, should Nicola turn up safe and well, as everybody hopes here, that's exactly why these yellow ribbons of hope are on the bridge close to where Nicola disappeared. It is a gross invasion of her privacy, and they're asking, you know, is it more to do with Lancashire police trying to protect their own reputation than driving the investigation forward?
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. We have some breaking news from Liverpool Crown Court, where
And then today they've spent all morning going through the timeline.
Then, if you look further down, Kay, there is a bit of a drop.
Are you comfortable going down there?
There is a bit of a drop down there. And look, it's muddy, so please be very careful. It's muddy and slippy, and it would have been probably even muddier at the time. A lot of people have trampled on here in the 3 weeks since Nicola's been missing. A lot of people have gone down to peep over the bank and see if they can spot anything. Police have been down here as well.
It is slippy, yeah.
Police have also, you know, with divers and drones and underwater cameras, have all been down here. But clearly a bit of a drop off from the bank down there. So if we move back up.
Yeah, and so this is the part of the river where the police think that she has gone into the water. There's no sign here at all of you know, any scuffs or whatever. Yeah. But this is where her phone is found.
Yeah. Well, look, it's 9:20.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
9:20. 3 weeks ago, Nicola's phone had moved to this bench, and this is what police say. It was here that her phone had ended up. I'm not entirely sure exactly where it was placed, but her phone was on a bench.
Yeah.
Here. And that's where the team calls.
Let's see where it is. It's you see, it's okay for them to speculate and, you know, make assertions and all that kind of thing. But if you're on TikTok, yeah, then no, you can't do it because you're an armchair detective. But all the TV journalists, it's fine for them to talk about it all day. And question people and all that kind of stuff and give their own views. I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a strange mystery, like the Lord Lucan or the MH. Was it 330, 370? You know, those things that, or Shergar, or, you know, that we never get an answer to. I mean, the only thing that came to my mind was there's a lot of assumptions that being made. You know, I don't know with the last witness I think the last witness saw her on the upper field, and then her phone is placed on the bench. I guess the assumption is she walked down there and put the phone on the bench, but of course, if she was abducted somehow on the upper field, and kept there, and then the perpetrator came and put the phone back down on the bench. Well, wouldn't even need to polish it because they didn't even bother to tape off and check that area, which seems very strange. And then he goes back and takes Nicola through the pathway where there's no CCTV. But of course, I guess there's cameras on the road, but of course you wouldn't know that if you put her in a vehicle that was around there that was out of CCTV and drove in, they're waiting for dash cam footage. So, I don't know. But that's the problem, is there's a lot of assumption of this, and of course believing the witnesses that they actually saw the real person. But anyway, I don't know any of these things. It's just that came into my mind when I was watching this. But what I was really talking about is how the media can be 1 minute, give us information, next minute once the information is given, it's like, oh, that's so bad at doing that. They play devil's advocate a lot. And, they bring you up and bring you down. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless and peace.